Ahead, more rain clouds gather over Apple stock and Australia's ultimate scapegoat. Later in the show. Welcome to 3 Times Square this Wednesday from Reuters World Headquarters in New York. There's still hours to go before Apple actually reports earnings, but let's not kid ourselves, it's the biggest story of the day. We've already had another investment bank make a bearish call on the stock. FBR is dropping its price target from $725 to $675. Apple shares are up about 1%, still hovering around that psychologically important $500 mark. Remember, it's tumbled 30% from those giddy September highs. The focus will be on profit. That's our daily digit. Analysts calling for an earnings per share of $13.44, down from last year. Beyond that, the big number, of course, will be iPhone orders, which make up over half of Apple's sales.
There's a lot of questions right now around whether they can sustain the huge growth they've had in iPhone sales. And so people are looking for shipment numbers in 50 to 53 million range, which is a huge number. But again, it's all about expectations. So if they come in higher than that, I think that'll be a huge plus. And if they come in lower, that's going to be a very, very negative indicator.
And there's more Apple analysis from our West Coast bureau chief on Reuters TV. And don't forget our show Techquity later today. A surprise at McDonald's, and no, it's not scalding coffee or extra bacon. An unexpected rise in U.S. sales helped bump up profits at the world's largest restaurant chain. They rose by almost 1% thanks to Christmas openings and the comeback of the McRib sandwich. But analysts say the early part of 2013 will be tough as it runs short of quick fixes for boosting sales numbers. McDonald's shares up slightly right now. Outspoken J.P. Morgan boss Jamie Dimon is saying sorry again for his bank's $6 billion trading blunder. He told a crowd at Davos that if you're a shareholder, he apologizes, quote, deeply. But in typical Dimon style, he stressed J.P. Morgan had record results, so, quote, life goes on. He's right. The bank earned a whopping $21.3 billion last year. Don't forget, though, Dimon's bonus was cut in half to a mere $11 million after an internal probe into the so-called whale trade. From one industry titan to another, this one with slightly more hair gel. It's teen heartthrob Justin Bieber, our power player of the day. Bieber became the king of Twitter on Tuesday, beating fellow pop star Lady Gaga as the user with the most followers, according to TwitterCounter.com. The Canadian singer is only 18 years old, nabbed the lead with 33.33 million followers, topping Lady Gaga's 33.32 million, bringing an end to her 2.5-year reign of the Twitterverse. Rounding out Twitter's top 5, Katy Perry, Rihanna, and President Obama. And finally, we're not kidding about this one. A goat in Australia escaped the long arm of the law when charges were dropped against his owner for the animal's public grazing. Seems Gary the goat, with a very nice chapeau there, got his owner, Aussie comedian James Desarnolds, into a bit of hot water when he munched on flowers outside of Sydney's Museum of Contemporary Art. Who could help it? I mean, come on. Cops slapped the comic with a fine worth $465 US. But the two had their day in court, and in the end, the fine was eventually dropped. Here's the owner's takeaway.
I just think Gary the Goat's taught the Rocks cops a valuable lesson today, and that's don't bite off more than you can chew.
That is the latest from 3 Times Square this Wednesday. Catch our interview with Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Arkady Djurkovich at Davos. He tells Reuters' Axel Threlfall his country faces an uphill struggle to improve its image with investors. We'll also speak to infamous money manager Dan Zwirn at the Game Hedge Fund Conference in Boca Raton. Reuters' Rhonda Schaffler asked him how he plans to make back his lost millions. Remember, folks, follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider and check out our YouTube channel at Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.